gleeful moment where you see the little fluttering white thing on the dashboard. $48 for both, and it's surprisingly easy to get a parking ticket. It's not as easy to pay for a parking ticket. Gotta get over by the screen here. So I get in here, Easy Park. All right, $48, add to basket. This is not shopping. I am not having fun. What else am I gonna add to my basket? Oh, maybe half-price broken windows or like a dented hood or something. Click that. All right, what now? Add to basket again. No, already in basket. I can't see a basket. Appeal. I would like to appeal to your sense of humanity and end this madness. It's up there. Okay, finally. So I click on that guy. View cart. I thought it was a basket. Now we're upgraded to a cart, presumably so I can put more shit in it. What can I do here? Nothing. Scroll down. Okay. Here, options. I can remove it. I can cancel it. I can add a violation. This entire process is a violation of my civil rights as a bad parker. Okay, returning customers, log in or sign up. Because if you're a returning customer, you got to sign up again. Clearly, I'll take the guest checkout option. You do not need to create an account, but we want your email address. I'm going to try and avoid that. Pay now. All right, another screen. Okay, note. You must use a space in the postal code. Where do I put the postal code? I will click Pay Now, I think, for the third time. Okay, and this goes to a different website. This is no longer Easy Park. There's no branding on this page. It's kind of scary, and in case I forgot, you must use a space in the postal code. So I'm really prepared for this. So I go down here, and I carefully type my postal code with a space. I got through. All right, payment confirmation. I don't think I've paid yet. Please use a space in the postal code. I already fucking did it. Look, it's right there. Click next to proceed. There's no next button. Pressing the Pay Now button. There's still not a Pay Now button. Purchased items. I didn't buy anything. Spent $48 twice on nothing. Ah. Now, I'm going to talk about content marketing. That wasn't particularly marketing content per se, but it's still content. It's still part of the experience that's being delivered to me. And what did they do wrong? It wasn't designed with purpose. This was a generic e-commerce transactional process that had nothing to do with paying a parking ticket. And because of that, there's no meaningful data attributed to this. They're not going to get anything of value. And they didn't show the product. So the product for them is the app. It might also be trying to get as many tickets handed out as possible. But they didn't show it. And that's important because if you are driving down the street and you're going to park, it's common. You'll see two parking lots. If I have their app, I'm going to go, oh, that's easier because that credit card machine is probably broken and I don't carry coins. So it's an important thing to do. If they'd done it right, something a little bit nicer, like want to avoid parking fines, tell us when you usually park. I'm like, oh, that's cool. All right, I'll choose 8 a.m. They're getting some meaningful data from me. They're learning something. And I'm getting, like, I think, oh, notifications, that's cool. I'll stop missing when I'm supposed to be paying. And then show the app. If I don't have it, that's an opportunity to get it. If I do have it, I can go in and set up these settings to get a notification, get fewer fines. Now, this is a fictitious feature, but it's an example of how they could have showcased their product. Because, oh yeah, I got to remember to hold a still pose for the photographer. Yeah, this is kind of the crux of what I'm going to talk about today. When you design with purpose, purposeful design, it leads to meaningful data. Now, what do I mean by content with purpose? Well, think of an FAQ. As it stands right now, it's just a bunch of text. You don't know if people are reading it, what they're reading, how they feel about it. So that's kind of on a purpose scale, that's a 0. So let's try and add to that on demand. Okay, this is also a fairly familiar way of doing an FAQ. You have to choose the question to get the answer. That's a little bit more designed for the experience. Click tracking, obviously, so you know who's clicking on what. But then, instead of writing the FAQs based on frequently asked questions, which is kind of stupid, because if they're that frequently asked, you should be changing the experience so people don't ask them. So instead, writing the content from the perspective of the aha moments that make people make a buying decision, it's an opportunity to put that information in there, that content. And if you get some data, like in that example for 8 a.m. parking, you can then provide a more personalized experience as a result. And the holy grail is you get your product in view as well. That's more purposeful design. Which leads to meaningful data. What does meaningful data mean? Third Thursday in March doesn't mean anything to me. First day of spring, that's actually kind of meaningful. It says something to me. Blocks of text on a landing page, not really meaningful unless you read them, but if I know that's a headline, that's a feature description, and that's testimonials, that's semantic information, it actually has some meaning. And if you work in an office, you might be familiar with the dishwasher magnet that says clean or dirty. Without that, there's very little signal as to the state of this situation. You don't know if it's full or empty. You don't know if it's clean or dirty without this signal. So by labeling the experience, you've got some context. It's more usable, and it's a little bit more meaningful. So if we come back to this, we can take it a step further. We can go down to the code level, and we can label this button, this poll, with some important information, such as the aha moment. I'm going to explain that it's designed to bring you to the type of object it is and the thing you chose. Okay, so again, designing with purpose leads you to meaningful data. Product-focused content is what this is all about. It's content marketing is kind of broken. Everyone does it. It's all the same. It used to be easy back in the day. Like when we started Unbounce, there were hardly any people doing content marketing. It was easy to stand out. Now everyone's doing it. Most are doing a bad job. And nobody puts their products in it unless it's salesy, and that's a turnoff. And I'm from Canada, so we never talked about our product, ever. It's just apologetic content. So we need to get it in some shape or form. Now, I wrote this on a whiteboard at the end of last year because we released 2 new products. We've always had landing pages, but then we released pop-ups and sticky bars. And what this means is the adoption was really low because we thought, oh, we released these, so everyone who uses these will use those. Not true, because a landing page is designed for a campaign strategist running paid or something, and pop-ups and sticky bars are for your website. And that's usually a different owner, a different functional user. So the adoption, the 1 is our landing page customers, and the 6% of them adopted it. That's a big problem. I was kind of upset when I saw this number. So I was complaining to one of my co-founders, and he said, stop complaining. What are you going to do about it? So a blog post released every day in January, written by me. I need your right hand.
All right, perfect. Jeremy's gonna love this.
No, I was a little drunk. But it was a good challenge because if I'd said, I hadn't written on the blog for 2 years. I've been doing a lot of speaking. If I'd said I'll write 3 blog posts, I would have written none. So the absurdity of the challenge, 30 posts in 30 days, was what inspired me to actually do it. And I learned a lot, I relearned a lot, came up with some good new ideas. I only managed to do 20, 37,000 words, and they were intense because they were showcasing the product. There were live demos in this stuff. It's very interactive because that's what I was trying to do, make it useful but also educational about the products. If I tried to do 30, continued down that path, I would have been divorced because I was not spending any time with my wife. Anyway, so I managed, this is the first post, and then here's the 20 in there. Now, I should have looked at the data before I started this project. I didn't. Our blog converts to NTS, that's a new trial start, at 0.3%. That's terrifyingly low. I would not have gone through that hell if I'd known it was only going to do that. So I would say, well, that's really bad. Well, our blog's been everything since we started the company. So I reached out to a few other people to see if they were in the same situation. Oh, and this is a common question. If you search this in Google, a lot of people are asking this question: is content marketing worth it? Is it a waste of money? So I asked Andy Crestodina. I respect him more than almost any other content marketer. He said that almost all of their traffic comes through the blog, or it first touches the blog, and almost nobody, 0.03, it's way less, becomes a business lead. But it's okay, because you just need to understand the supporting role, right? This gets you links, raises your domain authority, so when people do search for Chicago design and web development, you'll find their company. So you just have to understand that it is a supporting role and it is important. What else did I learn looking through the data after this experiment? Well, this is the old blog design before we did it. Not a single person was clicking our CTAs on the side or at the top, right? Just totally wasted. In the new one, with some product CTAs, a lot of focus there, also very contextual. If I wrote about pop-ups, everyone clicked the pop-up one. Sticky bars, the same thing. So it's very relevant and it's more targeted. It worked pretty well. But again, nobody clicked on the sidebar. Only 3 clicks out of 3,400. So we just removed the sidebar entirely. I've seen that in a lot of blogs, removing that, but it's nice to see some evidence that it's just not an important element of the page. But this content converted twice as well as our blog average. So it was actually a successful experiment, but it was exhausting and it wouldn't scale. I couldn't do that again, and we can't do that as a company. So it's a good thing, but we need to get more product-focused content like that in front of people. Right? So how do we do it? Well, having a bit of guidance is a good thing. This is your world as a marketer, as a brand. There's lots of these out in the world as competitors with other cities. This is just yours. And the wall here, this is context. People come in with different contexts. They search for different things. They have different product awareness levels. They have different skill levels in what you're talking about. But when they get inside the walls, now they're in your content area, right? But we're disorganized. You have a website, you have a blog, you have ebooks, you have webinar recordings, you have all this stuff, you have a course, and it's not really connected together. It's very common that it's not connected together properly in any meaningful way. So what you need to do there is provide a bit more guidance. I call it choose your own adventure. So give people some options to move around, but keep them constrained within the boundaries of what actually makes sense for you, guiding them to what you want them to see. Here's an example from that experiment. This is a choose your own adventure type thing, asking people what they need and getting the answer. So I learned the people showing up to this page were pretty low level, basic knowledge. So that helped me understand where they needed to go so I can change the experience. Your goal is guiding them around so they stumble upon the moments, these aha moments, where they can trigger that buying response. That gets them across the bridge and ultimately into your product ecstasy land. Now, XTC stands for X is context, T is content, and C is conversion. But it's a good thing. Oh, that little helicopter, that's a competitor stealing your customers. You don't want that. Now, remember this, that this looks scary and technical, and when things are hard or difficult in life, sometimes you just need someone to help you along. Sometimes you just need your mother. So introduce her now. Now, if I do say so myself, she's looking pretty good. But I do not want any mom jokes on Twitter. Behave yourselves. Because if you like what I'm going to talk about here and you want to use it, soon enough we'll be talking about your moms as well. So keep it clean. What it stands for is Marketing Optimization Map. And it's an event-based behavioral model, right? It's not about people went to this page or that page. It's all the micro events, all the little interactive things, all the things they chose to do on the path to conversion. This is what it looks like. Imagine that world, and then you're looking at it from above. Don't worry about the complexity of the sketch. Just look at the different parts of it. So the first one is the aha moment ring. These are the things you're designing for that guide your content strategy. Then you have the context area, which has two parts, known context, and then the context you want to build, the things you want to know about your visitors. Content, that's how you interact with people to get the answers you want to know in the context layer. And then conversion, that's the event map, and eventually the product. I'm going to unpack these a little bit. Now, like I said, there's some technical stuff here. I'm building this more so that it can be usable by anyone. So it's a bit more packaged up and productized. It'll be free. So if you are interested by the end of this, there's a landing page. Let me know, put your email address in. I won't ever email you until I have something that you can use. The slides will also be there. All right, the outer ring, the aha moments. Now, you've probably heard, okay, what's an aha moment, first of all?
It's alive!
It's an important moment. Now, you've probably heard people talk about this a lot, and I'm not going to talk about it in the same way. Usually it's onboarding and product adoption. I'm not going to touch that. Lots of other people talk about that. I'm only going to talk about product awareness, because I think we have to get people to these moments sooner. You can't just rely on that happening once they sign up, because you need more people to sign up. We need to get these product views, these experiences in people's eyes and hands before they do that to encourage more people to do it. So how do you discover them? There's the easy ways, obvious. Talk to sales, CS, and your customers, but the fastest and simplest way is just to talk to sales, because they're having, if you have a sales team, they're having these eye-to-eye, mouth-to-mouth, that's creepy, interactions with your customers, so they get to see and feel those moments where they go, oh, I get it, okay. So they're a great resource to figure that stuff out, to kind of begin your content strategy. Now these are, just for the sake of context, these are some of the ones that unbounce. So landing pages are better than home pages for PPC. We all know that. Dynamic text replacement can increase quality score, cut and paste. See, okay, so some of the research I did, you assume who's going to show up. I thought marketers, but no, the people showing up to a landing page course, more context, that's what I'm going to use as an example. There were developers showing up, managers, copywriters, CEOs, and then a whole slew of different kinds of marketer. So it's important to know that. Designers, if they see a certain feature, go, oh, that's cool. So you have to bring those things in, especially if you can self-identify, I'll show you how, who those people are. The mobile stuff is cool, and integrations make you go, it connects with my tools, right? So those are the moments that I'm thinking about when I create content. And when it goes into your analytics, because it's all event-based, you start seeing more meaningful data. You can see who's interacting with which aha moments, which ones are getting the most attention, which ones are actually leading to conversion. That can guide your content strategy again. All right, so the context layer in here. This is where, basically, you know some things about your visitors if you look in your analytics, but that's after the fact. You can then respond to that and change things, but it's not in the moment. Now, if you want in-the-moment knowledge of who's showing up, you can use some of the more advanced features of Clearbit, which is awesome. And they have a big range of information they'll give you, but it's not necessarily the small and nuanced things that you actually want to know, because they're usually way more topic-specific than just like company, org size, and things like that. What are the rewards, the incentives you can give to people so that they'll participate, so they'll answer your questions, identify themselves, and how can you use that enriched context, now that you know it, to create a more personalized and a better experience that takes people to the aha moment more quickly, right? That's what an accelerant is. So what I was doing, I was rebooting our landing page course because I wrote it in 2012, and now it's kind of a piece of shit. I don't believe in half of the content. It was just terribly out of date. And it gets a good amount of traffic, but nobody converts, like nobody. It's just kind of a waste of time and traffic. I redesigned it, but it's the same content. This is not the old one. A little bit of known context, 10 to 15K a month in traffic. Not bad, apart from the fact that nobody converts. I mean, this is biased towards referral traffic and a bit of paid. In general, organic traffic to this converts at like 0.05 or something. It's pretty tragic. I did a survey. The average skill level of people showing up, landing page knowledge was like 2.73, so they're pretty beginner. That's out of 7. And the videos at the bottom of 20,000 pixel pages were of the product 5 years ago, so they look terrible, they're not representative, and so the whole thing's just a bad experience. So if you have old content, this is a great process I'm going to show you for how you can bring it kind of up to date with what your product actually is. So these are the questions I was posing to speak to these aha moments. There's questions, there's the answers I'm going to get, and then there's the rewards I can give out, and ideas of accelerants. I'll explain it all as I go along. So one example. I want to know what industry you're in. The reason I want to know that is because we have industry-specific data. So I can give that to people in exchange for that information, that context. And then I can use that information to customize the experience to accelerate their path. And I'll show you exactly how I did that. So we have questions, context building questions. How do you get the answers? That's the content layer's job. In here, there's a library, basically. I've created an interactive library of content objects designed with purpose. Each one of them, some will be familiar interactive elements, but they were designed very specifically to get the information I need and to be able to use that information. Like I said, there's a bunch of technical stuff in here, but I'm building this all so that it's building blocks that you can just use. These are all the kind of components, some examples. Like a poll, this one's a multi-answer poll. So as an example, what marketing tools do you use? You can select all the ones you actually use, because it's really handy to know that kind of thing, so you can present integration information and spur people along, and also present the data afterwards. There's another reward there. Like a Twitter poll, they can get some of the insights from that. A video playlist, like this, or like that. Product inside your video. This is one of the most exciting things I'm going to show you, because most videos aren't that useful. And other types of media, I'm separating images from photos, screenshots, and diagrams, because they're all semantically very different. And if we don't treat them as such, our data won't mean anything. And then different types of navigation, global nav, anchor nav, nav that leads, basically all these choose your own adventure type things. Like this. This is an anchor nav that will bring down the page. So those are the objects that are going to collect this information. Here's an example. I'm on the home page of the course. If I scroll down, you'll see a poll object designed to gather some context. So the question I have is, what industry are you in? If I click travel, all right, so I've unlocked the conversion benchmark report, and there is the travel-specific data as a teaser, and you can get the full report there. And now with the cookie that I've set, I can change the experience later on. So you start seeing in your analytics, okay, I'm seeing all these different industries. I'm learning something. It's more meaningful data. But the best part, because I'm setting these cookies, and the important part here is I look to repeat visits, none. Nobody's coming back. So it's important that we do something in the moment. If I look at the analytics and go, oh, this is all happening, I can't change anything in a meaningful way because they're never coming back. So we have to try and change it in the moment. With this cookie, I can create an accelerant. So what I've done, on the second page, there's a video, right, which is me talking about landing page fundamentals. So it's me talking, and then I jump in the app to demonstrate how to use it to solve the problem I'm talking about, and then it comes back to me. So I took the video, split it open, and I took the demo part, which was a generic landing page template, and I recorded it 10 times. It's only a minute long, with these different industries. So now when someone self-identifies what industry they're in, if they get inside this, when they see the demo, that's designed to get them to the aha moment. But because this is the travel one, because they see a template that's their industry, they're like, oh, this is a cool feature. Oh, and wow, that's actually my industry, right? It's this little subconscious or subtle extra thing that will accelerate their path to having that moment. And it was very easy to do. It's the power of collecting that information and then creating a system that will react to it. Right? The features are what will inspire someone. The personalized part is what will get them there faster. So now with the conversion layer, how do we measure all this stuff? Well, it's an event So behavioral event map. Now, events in GA suck. There's no reporting there that's really that useful. I just couldn't pull anything meaningful out of it. So I'm doing it in a customized kind of way. But here you'll see aha moment number 1. These are the objects I'm using to get those questions answered, and those are the answers. And the shaded parts are like how many answers are coming in. So you can start seeing the behavior that's happening in your content, and then you can layer on, turn on your conversion goals to see which behaviors actually lead people to convert. Here's an example of a custom report I'm building. It's all HTML, all web-based. So you can see the green would be, this is the conversion layer. Gray is all the events that are happening. Green is the conversion. So you can learn an awful lot from that. And the more context you build, and the more content you build that reacts to context, the faster you can move people along. So for some nerds, if there are any nerds, I'll show you quickly the architecture. That's your content. There's the object library that have built all these things, all the code. Remember the FAQ one? Well, here's another example. This is at the bottom of one of the pages.
We have an FAQ object. Now, if I inspect this element here in Chrome, you'll see that it's decorated with all of these attributes. This is designed for aha moment number 1. It's a Choose Your Own Adventure FAQ is the object. The name is LPCC.
So this is passing all this meaningful information along with that click that is way more interesting and kind of alive than just your standard events. And then GTM, Google Tag Manager, I love it. I'm fairly new to it, but it's amazing. It's the best product Google's ever made. That kind of holds everything together. And because GA sucks for events, I'm pushing everything to an Amazon database because they have a free level. I'm just past it, but it's only costing me $3 Canadian a month, which is not really any money at all. And this is kind of what it looks like in there. Of course, it goes to GA, so I can do reporting on that. But then I can create these custom reports based on the database, because everything is stored in there. I can do whatever I want with it. It's way more powerful. Again, sounds complicated, but that's the whole point of what I'm going to try and do and productize this a little bit so that it's a bit more plug and play, and it'll be a bit more just simple. Scripts to set it up, the library's there, a container, and it should be pretty easy to set up, so you can start putting it on your blog, on a course, anywhere you need it. Now, I talked about designing with purpose and data with meaning. You need some metrics that have meaning at the end of that so that you can measure it properly and actually connect the information. So what is meaningful when it comes to a metric? Well, visitors watch on average 67% of your video. Okay, so what? That's not that useful. How about 54% saw the product in action? That's very powerful. That, as a content marketer, someone trying to get people to see the product, that's invaluable information. That's PIV, product in view. So in your videos, if 3 minutes and 4 seconds in, people see the product, that is way more valuable to me than just knowing, on average, people got a certain way through. And I grabbed, Lunametrics have this, I use Wistia for my videos, and they have this plugin that I hacked that allows you to push events through from Wistia. So basically, here's a playlist thing, and I'm passing through. They're all the percentages. This is when the product is in view. So now all of these events get fired, and in GA, I have more meaningful data showing the actual timestamps instead of percentages, showing when people saw the product. So I can design experiences that are really just much smarter, and are going to push people to the product in a more meaningful way. How about 2% of visitors sign up for a free trial? That's great baseline information. You need that. Not that meaningful. How about visitors who trigger 3 or more product in view events are X more likely to convert than someone who sees none? If you have that information, then you can push people closer to those interactions that produce those events and accelerate their path to the product. That's product view to sign up. Also, aha moment to sign up. Which aha moments are driving more signups than the others? If you know that, you write more content attributable to that moment. Write a new blog post for aha moment number 3. Drive people to the product that way. And time to product view. You want this as short as possible. How long does it take in your content for people to see the product. You want to keep bringing that down. If you design with purpose, purposeful design, if you create experiences that are semantically related to what's going to happen, not like that easy park thing at the beginning, you get a lot more meaningful data. And it's more enjoyable to look at your analytics when it actually tells you a bit of a story. Thank you very much. If you do like the idea, go to the form on that page and let me know. If you put your email address in, I will only get in contact once I've built this thing. And just, yeah, let me know what you think. Thank you very much.
Yeah, lots of event tracking, lots of behavior. Did you do anything with like internal site search to see if maybe on a page you're missing something that your data wouldn't show you?
No. What kind of thing do you mean? Like what? That I might be missing?
Yeah, so I'm on a page and I got there organically, and now I'm using your internal site search to find, okay, this isn't quite what I was looking for, but I know On.Bounce is going to have the information, so I'm going to use your site search internally.
Right.
And that's something you can track in GA, so then that might be able to even give you where you're missing an aha moment. Or
Definitely,
where you're missing
and
content.
it is an exploratory thing because you base it on what someone tells you, sales, or what you can infer from customers. But you might get it wrong. But when you start tracking it, you can go, nobody responds to number 2. Maybe I got that wrong. And you can, yeah, use techniques like that to try and uncover more of them. It's definitely an iterative process. You're not going to get the definition of those right the first time, I don't think. And a lot of people think there's only one aha moment for maybe your product, but there's not. There's lots of little ones. So you have to keep making content for more of them.
Awesome. Thanks.
Other questions? If you can talk loud enough, you can just raise your hand.
All right?
Answered all of our content marketing questions.
Or made it way more confusing. You can come chat with me after if you want, and tonight at the party, and we can geek out a bit more. All right. Oh. Who did all the drawings in our presentation? That was me. They are the best versions of them. There's a lot of bad, ugly ones, too. It's kind of awkward drawing your mother, too. Especially when she's an artist. Yeah.
So knowing what you know, actually maybe I missed it, but you were talking the story of doing 30 blog posts in 30 days. Was that what spurred on the entire redo of your 2014 kind of landing page builder website? Was that how that narrative went for you?
We've always known that there were 2 high traffic pages, like what is a landing page and this course, and we've just been neglecting them for years. So yeah, it was when I went through that experience, saw that we can change people's behavior with certain product things. I'm like, okay, where can I move this experiment? And that's a high traffic place. So that was just like the natural, place to do it. It's already performing better without really changing much content. All the text pretty much is the same. The only new things are some of these videos, the playlists, that kind of stuff. So building the interactivity in there, and it's already showing positive results. But I need to collect a lot more data to get the full map going.
So obviously, it looks fantastic, and it's showing results so far, and it looks exciting. Yeah. However, it's a lot of work, right, to redo this stuff. And yes. So for us who probably have a pile of content already within our companies or our clients,
yeah.
How do you suggest sort of assessing this kind of process for us and where we start?
I would look at it and look for, because if all you do is just the kind of high-level content strategy portion where you try and uncover some of these moments and figure out what questions do I need to know and come up with some of that. That also already defines a new strategy. But if you look through your content and see opportunities to show the product, because sometimes you'll do there's no way we could actually put it in there. It doesn't make any sense. We were just writing content, and it actually isn't directly related to what we do. When I look in GA at our highest traffic posts, the number 2 post is about email subject lines. It's got nothing to do with what we do, but we went kind of full stack at the beginning and wrote about all these things. So finding decent traffic pages that are related to your product, and then starting to weave some of this stuff in, just trying it, asking some of these questions. The first choose your own adventure thing, those 3 things, there's nothing interactive. There was no widgets or anything there. It's just 3 buttons, and I'm just asking people to self-identify what level they're at, and you go, okay, people who come here are extreme beginners. Now I know that when I put a video on there, I'm teaching them the very basics, and when I get into the app, I'm showing them something really simple, just so you're not overwhelming them. And that little bit of research into who people are and that self-identification can guide the way you put product views in front of them in different places.
That's good. Thank you. Yeah.
Alrighty. All right, thank you.